What I want to talk about today is the culture of real estate. The culture of real estate is moving from a we to a me culture. And this is not good. This is not how society can sustain a culture or relationships. So relationships need to be built and formed by people who are like-minded. And then once they do that, a culture emerges and we can rely on one another, and that's how things get done. So we're really not programmed to do things all on our own. The real estate industry as a whole, I see, is doing this. The whole industry and then subcultures of real estate agents, mortgage brokers, and home inspectors are all starting to kind of move off and to do their own thing. And more specifically, home inspectors, that's what I talk about. They've always kind of been a single guy operation for the most part. And so there's no secret there. It doesn't really so much pertain to that, but more specifically in the home inspection industry are cultures, there are groups that people can be a part of. And I know where I am, I see it dissolving. My local chapter that I was part of has dissolved. It's no longer there. And even before it dissolved, the member count was down. So the first thing I did when I became a home inspector is I joined this culture. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to know how to be a professional. How do I be the best I can be? I can have somebody I can rely on and form trusting relationships. There are about 25 people in that group. And it quickly just diminished, it was decimated over time. And eventually there were only 3 people showing up to the meeting. And a lot of people weren't coming because they weren't getting fulfillment out of it. They weren't getting business out of it. They didn't think it was worth their time. They had more important things to do. This is not good. This is not something that we should really allow to happen, and we are allowing this to happen in our own cultures. And that's the first step in how to make mistakes and how not to do something the right way. So it starts to become like the Wild West, where everybody's out running around doing their own thing. So we need to bring the camaraderie back in the home inspection industry, and we need to start forming these relationships with each other once again, so we can rely on one another, so we can do a better job. Otherwise, the standards of the industry become diminished. They become watered down, and the professionalism lacks. So a lot of people want to grab at this industry, and they want to be a part of this industry to make money. And while we all need to make money as a resource to live, there's no fulfillment there. So I think people are getting involved in it for the wrong reasons. So the market has had a massive flood of people who, their main objective is to make money. But you really have to take a step back and look at what you're really doing. We are trying to help people protect their investment. They're buying a home, and they are entrusting in us to give them, an educated opinion about the house and how it's going to affect them. If somebody's just doing 1 or 2 of these a month for money, it's very easy to get a license. It's very easy to become a home inspector and to just carry out the motions of being a home inspector. But to be a really good home inspector, you need camaraderie. You need to constantly be learning. You're always learning. There's so many different things we could see in this industry to learn and to be better. So one thing I would recommend that everybody does, and it's something I do, is while there may not be an organization that you can be a part of, you can team up with another home inspector or a couple home inspectors in your area, and maybe just go along with them and do some side-by-sides, or maybe even just get lunch or get coffee and talk about the industry and build that trusting relationship, because at one point or another you are going to come across something that you don't understand, or you're going to have a problem that you may need to talk to somebody else about that they have been through. It doesn't have to involve money. Money doesn't make you a better home inspector, but being a better home inspector will make you money. And by forming these trusting relationships, we'll be able to accomplish a lot more in the home inspection community.